My name's Bella.
And I'm Alice Cullen.
And you're listening to Slash&Slay, a Twilight podcast. Welcome everybody to
Forks, Washington.
Forks, Washington.
Under a constant cloud. I have watched this way too many times.
I have too. Okay.
It's still not enough though.
So for those of you who don't know, if you haven't figured it out yet, we are doing a Twilight podcast.
Twilight month.
Twilight.
A Twilight.
Twilight month. For the month of September, we're going to be talking all things Twilight books, Twilight movies, Twilight heartthrobs, Twilight
everything,
experiences.
All of our thoughts.
Yes. So I hope that you guys also have a connection with Twilight.
I think most people do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did talk to one of my friends yesterday or the other day who has never seen it, and I was like, "What?" But she wasn't allowed to.
Oh yeah.
I think my mom picked and chose like
what you were.
She was like,
to.
"You're not allowed to watch Harry Potter," because I don't think she wanted to watch Harry Potter.
She wasn't
but
interested.
She wanted
in
to
it.
watch Twilight.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Yeah,
I
y'all can watch
see.
Twilight." Like, okay.
Okay.
I was too young, but whatever.
Well, I was in high school. I was a senior in high school.
I can't even imagine
when it came out. And so, I was 17 years old when I read it for the first time. So I was it was right in my era. Of course, like, it wasn't like a type of book I'd be interested in. I was kind of reading, I was already reading Stephen King, Dean Koontz at that time. So it's like a teenage, vampire romance. That does not sound very good. But my best friend in high school was someone I trusted, and so she was like, no, you should really read this. So I read the first book and then went to go see the movie in theaters.
In theaters?
In theaters.
Wow.
And we went and saw it. I was obsessed with it.
Yes.
Literally, we got home from going to see it, and then we were like, should we go see it again? So 2 hours later, we went and saw it again. That's how
so cool.
Obsessed.
Oh my gosh.
I was with it.
That is so cool.
Yes. It was an experience. It truly was.
It was actually, I know people are always in my this era, but it actually was an era.
It was. It 100% was.
And it continues to be.
It is. And, now that I'm older, I look back and see how freaking problematic that these books were. I think the movies are less problematic in my opinion.
I think so too.
They still have issues, but less problematic than the books. And the books was what I was really obsessed with.
Yeah.
So
I actually read all the books for the first time last summer.
That's exciting. Because
I did read Twilight. I audiobooked it when I was young, on my little iPod Nano. Yeah. I listened to it. And then I officially read them all last year. But I think I jumped on the train during New Moon. Because I was a little older when New Moon came out. And then my mom, I remember her driving with her headphones on, listening to all the audiobooks, and she listened to all of them before I think Eclipse was coming out, and that's when we were trying to get ready for Eclipse.
Get pumped.
But I can't remember the first time I watched Twilight. It's just I've always known.
I've always known it. It's always been my life.
I've always known Twilight.
Twilight is a life.
I didn't get to rewatch it this week in preparation. I did. I think the last time I watched it was November though. So it wasn't that
not too long ago. Well, I've been audiobooking all the books and then watching the movies after I finish. So I'm pretty up to speed, I would say. I need to
watch New Moon again. Because I always
confuse
New Moon and Eclipse.
Honestly, I think New Moon is the best one. The best movie. And I don't know about book.
It makes me so... Okay, we can't really talk about New
Moon
right now.
We can't talk about New Moon because today is for number one.
But I'm on New Moon
Twilight.
Right now, so that's why I'm it's fresh on my mind.
It's fresh in your head, yeah.
Anyway.
Anyways.
We'll talk about Twilight. The beginning.
Yes. The book, which is written by Stephanie Myers.
She's Mormon, right? That's confirmed.
Yeah, she is very Mormon, and you can tell by which
Bella's
clothing, which I never noticed when I read it the first time.
No.
I glazed over the clothing.
Yeah, the khaki skirt.
It was like my khaki skirt. It's the only thing I have that I own. Mm-hmm. And all the boys just
they're like,
loved Bella.
Dang, that khaki skirt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the first book came out October 5th, 2005. So
I was 6 or 7.
You were a child, a baby, a bebe. How old was I? 14?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't read it until my senior year when the first movie was coming out, 2008. Mm-hmm.
Quick turnaround time for that was her first book too, right?
It was.
Wow.
So not too bad. But you want to get started?
From the beginning?
From the beginning.
When it starts off.
Do you want to talk more like movie or book? I feel like the movie is what people know more.
Yeah.
But we can
always interject
stuff
we normally do
about the book. Yes.
It starts off all blue as normal.
Yes, the whole movie is blue.
Yeah.
Which is watching Twilight and then watching New Moon.
New Moon's yellow.
It's yes, but it's such a contrast of like Twilight was truly a blue movie.
It was an indie film, in every sense.
Catherine Hardwicke.
Yeah, it was actually an indie film, and that's why I was like trying to get my boyfriend to watch all of them. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's an indie film. It's indie. You have to watch it. It's truly blue. And isn't she like holding, I'm trying to remember it.
Yes.
She's holding that cactus.
Yes. And I have that written down. She was holding a cactus when she left. She, her mom and her stepfather are sending her off to Forks to live with her dad so that they can go, I don't know.
He's minor league baseball.
Yes, he's minor league baseball.
They're traveling.
They want to be able to have some freedom, which I understand.
Get rid of your 17-year-old self-sufficient daughter. Yeah.
So she leaves home with a little cactus to remind her of home.
Yes.
And she holds it the whole entire time until she gets into her room and Forks. She's holding that cactus the whole time.
She was like, this is my cactus.
I was like, did she never put that down? Truly. But it made me wonder.
Oh my gosh. Doesn't she get the car?
Yeah, so she gets her truck.
I wanted that truck so
too. And my granddad had like an old truck that I used to want.
Me too. I wanted to be just like Bella.
Yes, but this was before Bella, so I was like, she has a truck like my granddad, and I want that truck.
You. And she loved her truck.
She did.
I will say in the books, she's much more kind, I feel like whenever Charlie gave her that, she was genuinely like, oh my goodness, you did not have to do that, like whatever. And then in the movie, she's just very indifferent.
She's kind of like a truck, okay.
Yeah, she's so indifferent, but I don't know, she just seems way more like kind-hearted and the more expressive of the
in the beginning of the book. In the movie, we meet Jacob Black, who will become
He's supposed to be 15.
Supposed to be 15 years old. Does not look 15. But she, to me, doesn't really look 17 either.
No.
Like, looking back on it.
How old were they?
I don't know.
20s?
In real life? I think early 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah. So we meet Jacob and Billy Black, who will become integral players later on. But for now, it's just kind of like an old family friends.
Charlie's bestie.
And Jacob helped fix the truck up and stuff. In the books, we don't meet him until way later. Mm-hmm.
Le push.
Le push, baby.
We skipped over meeting Charlie, though.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe,
I did skip over meeting Charlie. Charlie, played by Billy Burke.
So fine.
He is. He's literally
so fine.
Epitome dad. And I love him.
So fine.
I would not have thought that. I did not think that when I was
like, wow,
back in
Edward,
the day.
That's maturing when you're
that is.
Forget about Edward and Jacob.
Yeah.
I want
Charlie
and Carlisle.
It is Charlie and Carlisle all the way.
Yeah. I think it's also funny that in the book, Carlisle's supposed to be early 30s, and I was like,
I think it was like late 20s.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like it, but whatever.
I know. He looked way older.
They all look older than I think
way
they're
older
supposed
than
to be.
they're supposed to look.
But hey,
that's okay.
That's okay.
Back then I didn't think twice.
I did not even think twice. No. So we meet Charlie. She gets her truck. We meet Jacob, Billy. Mm-hmm. It's her first day.
First day of
new
school.
In her new school.
And she gets there, and people are just coming up to her left and right.
Which that's how it was in the book, too.
Yes. They wanted to know, oh, you're Bella Swan. You're the chief's daughter.
They called her Isabella, and she was like,
oh, yeah.
How
Don't call
dare
me
they
that.
call me Isabella?
And, of course, she's like Miss Clumsy. Right.
Oh, my gosh. She makes that up. Like,
I know.
She cannot be that clumsy.
No. And she's like, oh, I'm so fragile and breakable. And like, I can't play volleyball because I'll hit someone in the back of the head. Which she does.
Yeah.
And then we meet Mike Newton.
Aww.
And Jessica. I don't know her last name. Jessica. Which will be her quotations friends later on.
Whatever.
Yeah. Mike Newton in the movie is way different from Mike Newton in the book, in my opinion. Mike Newton in the movie to me is way more annoying. Like,
maybe they were trying to be from Bella's POV because she saw him
maybe.
so annoying in the book.
Yeah, in the book,
but he was just being
in
fine.
The book, he was really sweet.
Yeah,
like,
he was like, I'm gonna walk you to your class.
And I get that, you know, he liked her and she didn't like him back, but at some point I get, like, when we talk about New Moon, it's like, okay, Mike, take a freaking hint, bro.
But she also never like says it.
She never outright says, hey, I'm not into you like that.
Yeah.
She never says that.
She finally says, like, hey, I think Jessica likes you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, like,
right.
They don't know. They're boys. Who else does she meet?
She meets Eric. And Angela.
I liked Angela.
Angela, which was her, like, good friend in the books. She was, like, the one she felt closer to.
Yes. Because she didn't bother her, apparently.
Right. Okay, so we can get to the part where Bella is a bitch.
The whole rest of the whole
literally
franchise?
Yeah, she's a pick-me, and she's not a girl's girl.
She's so pick-me.
At all.
She's not a girl's girl. She's horrible to Jessica.
Yes.
Jessica can do so much better than Bella.
Oh,
sorry.
100%.
Especially in the book.
Yes, in the book. In the movie, I think it's a little better. But in the book, she's just like... Jessica just is this vapid girl who just thinks about shopping and clothes, and that's all, like, and it's such a sin, it's such a crime, and it was annoying me so much.
It was annoying
and Jessica was just honestly,
Jessica was going out on a limb to be like, Bella,
to invite her places,
come hang out with me, Bella, like, yeah, and I'm like,
Bella's a bad friend.
Bella
and
is
literally
a bad friend, and she uses everybody for her own gain.
She does. She literally uses
she uses Mike.
Everyone.
To try and get Edward to come to La Push. She uses Jessica.
Yes.
To go to where did they go?
To that's a New Moon. She uses her New Moon.
Oh, right. See, they all get.
They all run together. She uses them. She does. So we're at the lunchroom. We're in the lunchroom now, and Bella turns to see some weird people. Walking through the door.
Like freaks.
They do look like freaks. I'm sorry, but I would also think that they're a freak.
Yeah,
because I
would also not talk to them.
They don't, like, they look like freaks.
They're not even trying. Whenever Edward was like, we try to blend in. I was like, you're so lying.
You don't.
You wear the most expensive clothes. You have the most expensive car. You're staring at everybody. Your hair is frosted.
Y'all don't talk to anybody.
Yeah. Y'all literally.
And then it's like, and people are freaked out because they're like foster siblings, but like a bunch, they're like dating.
But whatever.
Anyways, Bella's immediately fascinated by all of them.
In her little baseball jersey.
Oh, yes.
Is that what they call them? Jerseys? For baseball?
I think like a baseball tee or
baseball clothing.
Whatever. So when I saw the movie and that scene came when Edward comes through the door, it's all like slow motion.
Yes.
I loved it so much. I remember being like, oh my gosh. So cute. And I wanted to like watch that scene over and over. I did go through Robert Pattinson phase after this. I would watch every interview with him. But
she turns around like
and she's like and he's kind of like looking at her with like his brows furrowed, just like
his. What does she always say? His eye color is in the book.
Oh, golden. Yeah, amber or golden. Amber,
or amber. It's always those. Yeah, his eyes. I also loved that scene and the music.
And it's just like slow motion, like eating eating. Meeting each person.
Yeah.
As they come, and they also don't eat lunch.
And like
they literally sit there and they don't eat lunch
because they look like models. So maybe they're like, it's fine.
It's so weird.
I just wouldn't like go through all that trouble.
Yeah.
To live in, like they could just. I don't know what they're not, because they're not making friends.
Right. So what?
Just y'all could go live in your house and hang out.
Right.
Together.
Or y'all could be homeschooled.
Yeah.
Like
that would be weird, and I'd be like, yeah, they're freaks.
Because they're homeschooled.
I can say that because I was homeschooled.
You're allowed.
I was always homeschooled. I can say that.
Yeah, they're freaks.
Yeah. I am a freak. Because they're not interacting with anybody, and I get Carlisle wants everybody to look normal because he wants to work at the hospital. But
they could literally just be homeschooled.
They can be, I don't know.
They could be off to college. Like they say, like literally the next year, they're like, "Oh, we're off to college."
Yeah.
So
and they're like, and they're gonna get married again. Like they go through everything in life, but
over
they just
and
do
over
it again.
I would hate that. I would hate it.
Oh my gosh! We'll get to that part. But in the movie, whenever they have all those all the caps and gown things, that is horrible.
Anyways. We're not even to the part where Bella and Edward meet.
Yeah.
So Bella goes to her biology class.
What's going to happen in bio?
She walks through the door. There's one seat there for her by Edward, of course.
Thank God.
And then a fan blows her hair. And he freaks though.
When he does that.
Ow.
He looks like he's about to
throw
poop his pants.
Yes. Yeah. It's so funny. Like he covers his mouth.
He's sort of like
yeah. And then she's like smelling her hair, which I thought like that very good touch, like the book. Which was like she smelled her hair to make sure and she does that in the movie. But then in the movie, he's just staring at her like it's the whole time. He's literally just like his eyes, he's just like staring at her, and she's just like her like shoulders up, like looking all like, pensive. I'm like, why didn't he just freaking leave?
Yeah, he
who cares, Edward? Like, it's fine if you just have to run out.
You already look like you're about to poop yourself. Yes. Like they're gonna think, oh, he had tummy problems.
It's okay.
Like, it's fine. In the book, when she was like, I smelled my hair. It smelled like strawberries.
My favorite shampoo.
Like it always does. I'm like, okay, who asked? Please tell me. You probably stink.
Also, like, who... Never mind. I won't say who used the strawberry shampoo still.
Yeah.
But really.
It's like the little... you remember the
little kids.
Yeah, the fish.
L'Oreal.
With the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tear-free, whatever.
She probably does still use tear-free, little baby.
She's like, my hair is so fragile that I have to use baby shampoo.
Even my hair will break.
I have to use baby shampoo. I can't even play volleyball. She is not a team player in any sense.
No, she really isn't. She really is only for herself. But she's also, at the same time, even though she's extremely selfish, she's also very self-deprecating. So it's such a what is going on inside that little brain of
Both
yours?
of them are annoying.
Both of them are so annoying in this movie, especially in this book, especially.
It's a little better later on.
It does
slightly,
but so Bella's like really not. She's like, what is his deal?
What's this weird, sexy creature's
deal? And she sees him in the office, and he's like trying to get out of the class. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. And he's like, I guess I'll just bear it. And he runs out.
Such an asshole.
He's so dramatic.
Yeah, he was literally like, and then and Bella was in there, and he's like covering his mouth again. Like, calm down. I also think it's so strange. Like, he says things like, I'll just bear it. Yeah. Like, the way they talk.
Yeah. Also, again, you're not from this time. Yeah. Clearly.
I'm pretty sure I read, like, he said, like, and yet, or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, and yet.
Yeah. And yet.
What?
And yet.
Okay, Shakespeare. So, yeah. He can't get out of class.
He can't get out of class. But like a week goes by and he doesn't ever show back up to class.
No bio for Edward.
Because she was going to confront him. Be like, what is your deal? I wouldn't either.
I'd just be like, hey, I think.
Like, did I stink? Did I stink?
Am I smelly welly?
Like, well, no one else seemed to think she stinks.
You don't like strawberries? That's what
he's allergic to strawberries. That's what I would just assume.
He likes another kind of red.
Yeah.
Goodness. That's me drinking
blood.
Yeah, so a week goes by and she's like, where is that guy?
Yeah, she's all she can think about.
Yeah. Already.
Like,
and
girl.
in the book too, she's like, I was disappointed. I hated that. I was hoping he would be there. Blah blah blah. And I was like, you have not even spoken one word.
No, literally have not even spoken a word to
not
him.
one word.
And she thinks about him all the time. Finally, shows back up the next week, and he does finally talk
like
to her.
He's sitting on a stick. Like,
yes,
a stick is
he still
up his butt.
Yes,
yeah,
he does. Even though
gripping the table.
Yes. It's just funny, like Robert Pattinson's facial expressions.
He's like,
are just like whenever they're talking in the hallway, she's like, "Your eyes, they're cold now," and he's like, "I gotta go." And he just like walks away.
I just feel like he never has his eyes fully open.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
and he's always like, he always looks confused.
Yeah.
He always looks really confused.
He's always just like, I don't know. I feel like Edward in the book is like, he's always laughing.
Yeah, he is. He's less brooding in the book for sure.
Yeah. But then when he is brooding, it really means something.
Yes. True.
And Bella knows.
Right.
You know?
He doesn't really, I don't think Robert Pattinson really smiles or laughs a whole
just goes
lot.
like,
yeah, he just kind of like, I don't think he ever laughs now that I think about it.
No.
I don't think.
And it's always like Bella's later on when they're like together and everything, like Bella will say something and he's like, like laughing and thinks she's so funny and cute, whatever.
Yeah.
Not here. They're both just like so dark.
They're
in
both,
the movies.
they have no
they're so dark.
personality.
No joy, no happiness, just
yeah.
Yeah, his whenever they meet in bio and they have to he's like, I would like to introduce myself.
Yeah.
I'm Edward, whatever. Sorry, I ran out the other day. And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing her little thing. And then they have to identify
different biological species.
Specimen things on the, what's it called?
Microscope?
Yeah, microscope. And they start bonding a little bit because they're like, we're the smartest people in class.
Right. I know, that's another thing. She's like, I've already done this class at my old school.
She keeps saying that.
She's like all these Forks people are dumbasses.
When she goes, I'm gonna read Wuthering Heights again for the heck of it because I have nothing else to do. Like,
or Romeo and Juliet. I've read Romeo and Juliet a million times.
I used to have a thing for Romeo. Okay, you're wrong, but whatever.
Can you tell we don't like Bella?
She's so picky.
I just like there's like, yeah, especially in this movie.
Yes.
There's a little bit like, I think each movie gets better and better with her kind of attitude, but still
the world revolves around Bella.
It does.
Bella,
it does.
Bella,
and everyone like literally treats her like she they treat her like she literally needs to be package wrapped. I'm like, she's
or that
not.
She's like, not to be like this, but like they act like she's like the most special person.
Oh, I know. Her and her khaki skirt. Literally every guy likes her at school.
Every boy thinks she's like the hottest thing in the world.
Yes, they're trying to ask her to the dance.
I think her dad's the only one that treats her normal.
I think
just
so
like,
too.
Make my dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have homework? Okay.
Literally
good
though, in the books, all she does is like, Charlie, like, how did Charlie live before she came? Because like she makes dinner, she
just
cleans.
go to that dang diner.
It's like, I think that's the Mormon coming out of Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah, he's finally like a woman to do it for me.
Yeah, right. Because I can't do it myself.
Yeah, but he's the only one that treats her normal.
Yeah.
Because then like, I don't know. Even Mike is like, I have to walk you to your class.
Right.
Edward's like, you can't even walk. I need to carry you everywhere.
I know. It's painful.
It's like she has bodyguards.
Right. It's weird, but it's like, why?
But to be fair, okay, Jessica tries to treat her normally.
True.
And Bella can't act normal.
Right.
So,
I think Bella she has a superiority complex.
Oh yeah.
And she needs to get over it.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that, Bella Swan?
Get over it. We have spoken.
We have spoken. So something big happens next. This is a pivotal scene. I
remember this in the commercials.
At her truck, and there's a squealing sound, and there's a van coming towards her, and she turns around and she's in shock, and then all of a sudden, that kind of ruined it, but she sees Edward like across the parking lot. She was watching him. He was watching her
at his Volvo.
Which she mentions a lot.
We get it.
You have a Volvo. So this van is coming towards her, and then all of a sudden Edward is there by her side, and he stops the van with his hand.
Oh, iconic! And the way she's pressed against the red truck, and he's like
over her.
Oh,
it's like gosh. Such the promo
and then you
scene.
hear the boom, and it's like, ooh, yeah.
And then he just gets up and walks off. It's another.
Yeah. Yes. But in the book, she cracks her head.
Oh yeah, she like actually does.
She actually cracks her head, and then he's like freaking out. Goes to the hospital with her.
That's when we meet Carlisle for the first time at the hospital.
Oh, thank God! Finally,
finally, Peter Facinelli.
God.
Is that his name?
I don't know.
The actor's name, Peter Facinelli.
Carlisle. So attractive. Anyway, he fixes her all up.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is not letting it go with Edward.
Yeah, she's like, I saw you across the thing. And he's like, he gaslights her majorly.
So
he's
bad.
Like, no, I was right beside you, Bella.
He doesn't even try to be like adrenaline or anything. He was like, I was standing.
He was like, I was standing right there. She's
he
no.
He looks and squints at her and he's like, I was standing right beside you.
She's
you
like,
dummy.
No. And he's like, well, no one's going to believe you anyways. And he stomps off. It's like,
yeah. But also in the book, she's like, I'm going to keep your secret, whatever. And this is when she like starts realizing that something's weird's going on.
Yes. And so in the books, he disappears, or no, he doesn't disappear, but he doesn't talk to her for like 2 months.
Yes.
It's like time stretches on and he literally doesn't talk to her for 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what makes him.
I think, remember they're sitting at the,
in the books, I don't remember what makes him finally talk to her.
Okay, so it's 2 months. They go to biology together. Oh, whenever he picks her up. Whenever he saves her.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. There's another big scene.
Which is so weird and creepy.
Yes, it is also so creepy. So in the movie, it's like, it seems like it's been like a couple weeks maybe, but they're still talking. Like he's having conversations with her. Mm-hmm. But he keeps being like, we shouldn't be friends. Like, I'm dangerous. Like,
it's very
just
dangerous.
So weird to say to someone.
Yeah, he's like, what if I'm the monster? Blah, blah, blah. And
she's like, I don't care.
I really don't care.
Yeah, she's like, I literally don't care.
Does not care.
I don't care if you killed like 1 million people.
I mean, to be fair, if Edward was talking to me, I'd be like, I don't care. I don't care what you've done. I don't care about anything.
But I guess that's like the point of the vampires. It's supposed to like draw you in.
That's true.
So
they're supposed to.
It's working on her.
So Jessica finally drags Bella because she refuses to go to the dance with all her friends.
Yes. And
it's a
she's
ladies'
been asked
choice dance
3 times.
Even though it's ladies' choice.
Yes.
Which, okay, fine. Don't go with the guys if you don't want
to. Oh, yeah.
In
the book, she was like, I think I'm just going to go to Seattle.
I'm going to go to Seattle and look for books because the library here is too small because I read all of the books already. She literally says that.
Yeah.
I was like, you're such a liar. You are so wrong. So she's like, I'm going to go to Seattle all by myself. I'm going to have like a girl day, whatever, by myself. And then she won't go to the dance with her friend, which you don't have to, but you don't have to act like so like.
Act like it's like the worst thing you've ever heard.
Going to the dance?
Like, I would never do that. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I just can't dance. She acts like dancing
like,
is like dance. A gun to her head.
Literally.
So
she acts like she's about to die when she dances. It's like, girl, it's like swing back and forth. Like, chill out.
And you don't have to dance if you don't want to.
You don't. You could sit,
just
drink some punch.
With your friends for an hour. Like,
but
it doesn't matter.
She doesn't care about her friends. She doesn't care.
Jessica finally, because Angela's going, drags Bella to...
Wait. I think before this... La Push. We missed La
Push.
Push, baby. La Push, baby.
I want to go there so bad.
I do
it
too.
Looks so beautiful.
Guys, if we get 200... No, if we get less than that, we'll go to Forks.
If I become a flight attendant, we'll go to Forks.
Oh my gosh.
You can get a free ticket.
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll go to Forks.
Okay. So all the friends are going out to La Push.
Which, surprise, she went.
She did. She did
went
go.
Because she thought Edward
might come. Because she asked him, and he was like, "Oh, which beach?" And she was like, "La Push," and he's like, "Oh."
He literally said no.
Yeah. He was like,
and then she was like, "Well, go. I was hoping." Anyway.
And he was like, I'm not going to that. And then she was
going
like,
to
I'm really disappointed.
Backpacking or hiking or something.
Yeah, because that's what they do that a lot.
They sure love
backpacking and hiking.
That is another sketchy thing. And she told him that or he told her that they went to this place that was a whole bunch of bears.
Oh yeah.
Like, and Charlie was I think you heard that wrong because there's no way anybody would go there. And she was like, okay.
She like looked it up.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell Bella things. She will remember.
She'll remember and she'll hold it against you. So they go to, she's hoping that
Edward shows up.
Edward just shows
but he
up.
doesn't, of course.
Can you imagine him showing up to that social event? That'd be so
right.
weird.
Well, he's not allowed.
He's not allowed.
He's not allowed, but we don't know that yet.
Baby Jacob comes.
Baby Jacob comes, and in the book, she's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna flirt with this guy.
Literally, like, I'm gonna seduce.
She
this
literally is like,
boy.
I'm gonna like touch his arm, and I'm gonna laugh at his joke.
And I hope he tells me what I want about Edward.
It's so rude.
It is. Horrible.
And honestly, I think that is the catalyst of everything that happens in the future with Jacob.
Literally,
100%.
I mean, what is he supposed to think?
Right.
If
you literally did it on purpose.
Yeah. Being like, wow, I didn't think you looked 15 only.
Yeah.
I thought you were older than me. Like, be for real.
Girl.
But Jacob tells the story of the Cold Ones and about the history of his tribe. What is it called?
The
Quaalude.
Quaaludes. That's a drug.
Quaalude?
Oh my gosh. I've just listened.
Quaalude a drug?
Quaaludes are drugs.
Oh, sorry. Cut that. I don't want to be canceled.
Quaalude. Oh my gosh. I literally have been listening to the book nonstop. Quaaludes.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
So Jacob does not
believe in
this
any
story.
of it. It's just like their urban legend, if you will.
He's like, oh, my kooky spiritual dad thinks that the Cullens are, he tells this whole story of his tribe, which are turned into wolves, and their enemies are the Cold Ones. And he talks about this tribe of Cold Ones that came, and they claim to not hunt humans. And the Jacob's tribe is against killing humans, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're trying to protect the humans, and they say the Cold Ones, even though they say they don't hunt humans, they're not allowed on our land. Yeah, if they go on our land, you know, we're gonna
kill them.
They have a treaty that they go on their land, they don't bother them. There's a whole little perimeter where they can't come on. And Abella's like, oh, that's weird. So like your dad has a thing against the Cullens because he thinks there's some descendants of like the Cold Ones or whatever. And he's like, no, he thinks they are those same Cold Ones.
He's like, haha, I know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, silly, right? And Bella's like, right. So this is where she gets another spark.
Yeah, a little spark of something.
Yeah.
But she decides to go with Jessica and Angela because they're gonna go dress shopping. Ew, we hate dress shopping, and of course she doesn't want to dress shop, so she sits there and reads a book. Okay, I'm a book girly. I'm a book girly, but no,
I don't even bring my book everywhere, and if I'm hanging out with a friend,
never.
I'm not bringing it.
That's so rude.
Oh, it's so rude. Imagine if I went wedding dress shopping and I turn around and Alyssa's reading a book and
I'm like, oh yeah, Emily, that looks great. Like,
no, get the discount heels.
Rude.
She did offer one good advice to Angela, because Angela was like, should I get the heels that I only wear once or these that are more practical? And she was like, you got the money, they're on sale, get the other ones. It's like, okay, Bella.
Okay,
thanks for that
little advice.
But then she literally said, I only like Angela because she doesn't ask me questions.
Yes, she was like, she said she likes Angela for that reason, but she likes Angela because she doesn't talk, but she doesn't like Angela because she's observant. She's like, I like Angela because she doesn't talk to me, but I don't like Angela because she knows when something's wrong with me and she will ask me about it.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
It's like,
she does not like a friend. She doesn't
want a friend. She wants a freaky boyfriend.
Why does she even talk to Jessica anymore?
I don't know.
Jessica deserves better. Justice for Jessica. So they go shopping, and then her friends are like, hey, let's go. I'll go keep shopping over here or something. And
she's like, you know what? I'm going to go find this bookstore by myself.
And they're like, okay,
bye.
We'll come with you. And she's like, nope.
She's like, no. She's like, okay, we'll meet you for dinner. She's like, okay. And so, of course, she goes off by herself, walking through this town, which, like, is this Port Angeles? That's what it is. Is this like a crime town or something?
It seems horrible. It seems like murder, rape, all of it is happening all the time.
Because she gets lost trying to find this bookstore, which sounds like a tiny town. Like, how do you get lost? But it's Bella. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's stupid.
She literally just closed her eyes and walked.
Right. I think so. And some guys, this group of guys, she runs into, and they're like, oh, hey, girl,
They corner her.
Yeah. Like.
And they are up to no good.
Up to no good.
And she's like trying to scream, and she can't. And she was like, I'm going to fight them.
Yeah. She's like, let me think of all the self-defense I know. I can just imagine her like barely just.
She's like, uppercut to the nose. And I was like, right.
Sure.
You're
going to do that.
Absolutely, girl.
And then we hear, skirt, skirt.
It sounds like a Volvo approaching.
I think I hear a Volvo.
And he says, get in. And Bella's like, okay. And she just gets in a stranger's car. Like, I don't know what she thought. And she was like, it was Edward.
It's Edward.
Yeah.
And then he like gives well, he also before that he gets in like this intimidating face to the guys, and they like back off. But it's not like in the movie. It's not intimidating at all.
Yeah.
He just kind of like glares at them.
Like, and
he's in his pea coat. His pea coat that he wears all the time.
And his hair's gelled. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sticking straight up. Like, ooh, intimidating.
Scary.
But he skirts away, and he's like, distract me, or I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna kill them. And she's like, wear your seatbelt. And he does this weird thing where he's like, wear your seatbelt.
Yes,
like
yes.
Weird.
And that's like the only time he's like kind of laughed the whole movie still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was so bad. They start driving really fast, whatever, and then after he gets distracted or whatever, he's like, I just know it won't be good if I go back there.
Yeah.
It just won't be good. And she's like, okay.
Okay. So then they go to dinner, or they go to the place where they're supposed to meet Angela and Jessica, and they ate without her, which, girl, I do not blame you.
That's fine. They were like Bella's probably off doing God knows what. Yeah.
So like, we already ate because we couldn't get a hold of you. And she's like, okay. And Edward's like, well, I'll take her to dinner and then I'll take her home. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, they got rid of Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Win
Win
for them. They can have an actual girls' night.
Seriously. So they go to dinner, and Edward somehow reveals that because he was like, oh, I knew what those guys were thinking. She's like, well, how could you possibly know that? He's like, well, I mean, it's obvious. And then, but he reveals that he can actually read people's thoughts.
She figured it out so easily, and he revealed it so easily. The whole thing.
Yeah. In the book, during the dinner is actually when she finds out everything.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
It's so quick.
It's so fast, and it's
and she's not freaked out at all, and she does not care. She figured it out. First she was like, I thought you were like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he was like,
superhero.
Ha, nope. And then she like actually gets it right on the second try.
And he's like, oh, well, that's me.
Yeah.
But in the movie, he's basically just like, I can read all these people's thoughts except yours. And she's like, what's wrong with me? And he's like, I can read thoughts and you think there's something wrong with you. And that's like, that right there is just the dynamic of their whole freaking relationship.
Yes. Me bad, but
me
also
bad,
think
but
I
me
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
But you not bad, but me bad. It's
yeah. I like everything about you, me bad, and vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Even though you're objectively bad.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. And then they're in love. That's it.
Well, yes. Yes. Because I think it's when she says, I'm irrevocably in love with him.
Yes.
Okay.
I get it. Heart flutters.
Right.
Side eye.
Yeah. I want to put myself in that time, right, of myself.
Oh, I would have been irrevocably in love.
And I think I was like, oh my gosh.
If I had no world experience,
yes,
I would also be head over heels.
In love with this
stalker. A man stalked me, and he's a vampire.
And he's protecting me. It was so sweet.
Yeah, that was so cute.
I love it.
Yeah, no. He admitted to stalking.
Yeah. But in the movie, they shows up to school the next day. He says, think about it, like what he is. She has a dream about everything Jacob said, and then
she's in the book too.
Yes, but she shows up to school the next day, and they just look at each other, and then he starts walking off into the woods, and she follows him. Why was that necessary?
Also, your dad is a cop. Yeah. I'm sure rule number 1 is don't follow strange men into the woods.
And why was that necessary for you to have to go? And it's far. Like, they walk really far because they have to do like a jump cut of them walking. I think she walks and then he follows her.
Also, the scene is like very climactic, but it's also not necessary.
No.
Because I think she already knew. And then he has to be like, so aggressive.
It's so intense.
And he does all the moves and
he's like,
outrun me. as if you could fight me off. And he's so pissed.
He's like throws a branch.
He's so
and then he
angry.
hangs from the tree, and then he's like, but there's a moment when they're like against a rock, and he like puts his hands on either side of her.
Yes.
And I remember that moment being like, oh my God. That is so attractive.
Yeah. He goes so like angry 100 and then he's like smoldering and you're like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful moment. Because then he's like, let me show you this. And then he takes off his shirt and he's glittering in the sun.
Which I like how they did it in the, I don't know, in the book, it seems like he really tried to date her from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take you out and I'm going to reveal piece by piece of who I am, which is like how you should do it. Mm-hmm. But he's literally like, I'm going to show you me running up a tree. I'm going to hang down and then I'm going to take my shirt off and then I'm going to force you to say exactly what I am. And very.
It was strange. And then they just lay in the meadow, I guess, for all of school. Like.
They just lay in that meadow.
And then in the next scene when they're like, okay, we're going to walk into a school together. He has like sunglasses. That was another scene. I was like, okay.
He literally said, I got it. Like,
it was another moment where he smiled. And I think just like when he smiles, he puts his arm around her and he's like, well, I guess I'm going to hell anyways. And they're walking in. It's kind of like in slow motion.
He looks so happy.
It was a moment for me. It was definitely a moment.
It was hot.
Mm-hmm. It was very hot.
That's what I wish. Like, I just very much imagine a completely different set of characters from the book than the movie. Even though they are similar, they're just so still different.
It's
Edward
not similar
is just
enough.
Much more like naive and like he hates himself.
Yes.
But he like really genuinely wants to believe in love and believe in this and like wants to make it work and loves Bella.
Yeah.
And is happy and like jovial and really hangs out with his family and loves them. But in this one, he's just brooding.
He's
just brooding.
He's brooding the whole time.
Yeah, just brooding.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if they do this in the movie. Do they ever all sit together at lunch, like with her friends?
I don't.
She literally, that is so rude to just always go to your boyfriend then.
Yeah.
That's like rule number 1. Don't do that.
Right.
Like, don't forget your friends.
But I mean, she was like literally just that she can only focus on him. It's literally, it's unhealthy. That's the thing. It was like reading this back. I'm like, this relationship is very unhealthy. It's very codependent. It's very like,
and we'll see what happens when that codependency is broken.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. But we meet, Edward comes to pick Bella up from the house.
Yes.
And Charlie.
Even though he's already been watching her sleep and sleeps with her at night.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yes. He comes in through the window and she's like, how many times, like, how often did you do that? And he's like, I've been here for a while.
That
like,
is so creepy.
It's really weird.
But like me, I really thought somebody 100%. Was going to do that.
For me, I was like,
I was like, let me leave my window unlocked.
And the scene where they like kiss for the first time, that was another like,
so hot.
A little horny cheek.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That is
hot.
what I want. Is a man to come through my window and kiss me like that.
I'll get a ladder for Jared.
He can't.
Yeah.
Thank you. He can like, climb up there. Climb up there.
Yeah. Jump. Edward can do it.
Yeah, if Edward can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
It's the rule.
Yeah, he just climbs in there and watches her. And sleeps with her every night.
Yeah.
Which I think is very like they draw the lines wherever they want to.
Yes.
They don't care about that line apparently.
Right. Yeah, from then on he's like gonna be there every night. So
literally, that's it.
Yeah.
He's there every night. So there's dating for like a week maybe.
Yeah, not very long.
Maybe a few days.
In the book, it's like literally
like 2 days.
It's like, yeah, he takes her to Seattle, but really that's when he takes her to the meadow, and then literally takes her to his family's house
that night. Right, right.
And then the next day's the baseball game. So
bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. But this makes it seem a little bit like time has passed. But I like when Edward shows up to pick up Bella to take him to his family's. Charlie with the gun.
There with the gun and his
it's
beer.
Just like, usually, that's like,
okay,
know,
but if
problematic.
He did it,
but it's just because he goes, and he like cocks it, and he's like, okay, bring him in.
It was so hot.
It was funny. But then we get to go to the Cullens residence in the winding forest in this mansion.
The house is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
No business.
And it's like, y'all are not blending in. Like, y'all want to blend in, but you are not. They had
made that custom-made house.
Yeah, I think so.
It's all glass. They are filthy rich.
Oh, yeah.
And that also makes me hate them.
Right.
So I'm like, y'all could like do some good.
Like world hunger or something.
Also, if you never sleep, like you could solve like world hunger.
Oh, I know. There's so many things. Yeah, that's like the Cullens could do a lot more than what they're doing.
And everyone's like,
if they're so good.
Well, okay, you know what? Like Dr. Cullen, he's doing good.
Yes.
Good
I
job.
appreciate him. We appreciate him. We love Dr. Cullen.
Appreciate him. But everybody else is just sitting on their fat rich asses.
Seriously.
Fat rich, not fat. They're so beautiful.
They don't have to
They're
eat.
all gorgeous.
They don't have to sleep.
All Edward does, they're literally rich white people because they just like do
literally
music.
Very white people.
They just do music and work on their cars.
Yes. So lame.
They just do music and like work on their cars and read books.
Like major white privilege.
For real.
Honestly, definition of.
Anyway, where were we?
Anyways, we meet
Charlie meets
the rest of the but they got to the house.
Yes. I love the scene in the movie.
Yeah, I know.
So good.
When they come in,
they're like, ciao Bella.
Yeah. Esme. We meet Esme, who's like the mother.
So beautiful.
And she's making Italiano because Bella's Italian.
Yeah.
And it like Edward's like, oh, she already ate. It's so rude. I was like, you do not get the vibe. She was like, it smells delicious, and Edward's like, she already ate.
He was so
and they're
rude.
Like, I love about Rosalie because Rosalie is the one that doesn't really like Bella, and she's holding a salad bowl.
She sees Bella for who she is.
I know. She's holding a salad bowl, and she just breaks it.
Yeah, I loved that part, and she just drops it and walks away.
And then we officially meet Alice and Jeff. They've been through in the movie, but we haven't met them yet. It's like over halfway through. And she like hugs Bella immediately, and she's like, we're going to be great friends. And we find out that Alice can see the future.
Jasper.
And Jasper's a freak.
We can't like Jasper.
Jasper has
a very dark past.
He does, which we will discuss in a few books.
Emmett.
Oh, I loved Emmett. Emmett was always my favorite in the books.
Oh, of course. I can tell that you're an Emmett girl.
Yes.
You're such an Emmett girl.
I am an Emmett girl. He's a goofy man. I just love him. I don't know why he's with Rosalie, but whatever.
He doesn't have much option.
True.
And she turned him, apparently.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Or she found him.
Already, like, from the beginning with Alice and Bella's relationship, I don't like it. Because Bella does not deserve, like, the best girlfriend of all time.
I know.
Like,
she really
Alice
doesn't.
gives 1,000%.
She gives
and Bella gives nothing.
Horrible.
Yeah. Horrible friend.
Seriously.
She's just the worst.
She really is. She's a bad friend. And
she's also so snoopy. Like, she just met these people, and she, like, wants to know about Carlisle's entire life story.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, like, you don't know if he's ready for that.
Right.
Like, you just met him. And they very quickly welcomed him into, like, welcomed her to their, like,
they did
lair.
They were very open with her.
And they want her to be
and
included.
She's so, like, awkward. But, I mean, I get that, I guess. But
still. She just picks and chooses her awkward, too.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, I'm awkward mean, but can you tell me everything about you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so weird.
Yeah.
So we find out about Carlisle's beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And
briefly.
This day, like, is the longest day ever.
Yes.
Because
truly.
So they go to the meadow in the morning, right? Or the day before?
That, in the books, it's like they go to the meadow and then they go to dinner.
Don't they go to the meadow? She goes back. He picks her up from Charlie. Then they go to dinner. Then they go back. And then they go back. They go back to Charlie's house for her to change. And she's like, I'm going to go to baseball.
I think so. I can't remember exactly.
And then it's just the longest day ever.
Yeah.
So they meet, whatever. We also find out Jasper can control emotions. Mm-hmm. There's no other powers, right? Just those three.
Just that.
And then they're like, oh, it's gonna storm.
Yes.
Like, what? Why doesn't? What's
oh wait, but we forgot that Bella goes to Edward's room.
Oh yeah, inappropriate.
There's no bed.
That's not appropriate.
It's inappropriate. And he plays Claire de Lune. She's like, Debussy.
Yeah, everybody knows that song, but okay.
She's like, it's really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he tries to dance with her, and she's like, I can't dance. And then he's like, okay. And so he takes her, he goes, hold on tight, spider monkey.
Yes.
It's so cringy. It's the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm pretty sure even when I was in high school, I thought it was cringy too. Being like, so weird. That took me out of it.
In the book, they just like wrestle, which is weird too. Mm-hmm. And then Alice comes in, and she said, I thought you were having Bella for lunch and we wanted to share. And I was like, oh.
That was so creepy.
Yeah. And then
we listened to Bella's lullaby.
Oh, so good.
That Edward.
I used to play that on the piano.
It's so pretty. It really is. The music is honestly top notch.
Oh my gosh. The soundtrack and the music. Mm-hmm. The soundtrack is on my like daily playlist.
Yeah. So good.
Anyway, that's a whole conversation.
Yes.
And in the book, she gets so nauseous from riding on his back. Yeah. And I'm like...
Same, though. Honestly, same. I need to take some Dramamine.
Yeah.
I need to take some Dramamine.
I know when I'm going to be moving, so I take my Dramamine. What'd you think, girl? Then what happens? They come back.
Mm-hmm. And then she's going to go play baseball.
Because she's just a sporty girl.
Yeah.
Apparently now, for Edward's convenience.
Right?
Now I love sports.
And they meet the whole family out on the field. She's like, why do we have to play like when the storm? Like, you'll see. And then they have the best honestly scene. The best scene in the whole movie.
And it's
so good.
Supermassive black hole. Yeah.
So good. And they're just playing baseball. And the way Alice pitches with her like
with her leg up.
It's so ballerina.
Gosh,
I love it.
I love it.
And
so good.
There's thunder whenever they hit the ball. It's like there's thunder. So it's like, okay, it makes sense. They had to be around thunder. They're playing. It's so fun. And then Alice has a vision and she's like, they're close. And, we forgot to mention throughout this whole thing, there's reports of people.
Bear attacks.
Yes. Animal attacks, people dying and disappearing and stuff.
But the Cullens know that it's other vampires in the area.
Yeah, that have heard of them. So, like, there's these vampires that are coming that have heard the game and they want to join us. And the entrance of Laurent, Victoria, and James it's so good.
It's so good. They're like
the
not
way they're
even
like gliding.
Yes.
I saw this meme the other day that was like showing that, and it was like me on the elevator on the walking escalator.
That's what
the airport
looks like.
It's just like they're floating.
And I love how they look so like rugged.
Yes,
they like don't have a home.
They have style. I mean,
they do.
It looks
Victoria,
very good.
Pre-Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes, I know.
OG Victoria.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Her hair,
so beautiful.
I love it.
Laurent, his eyes, they were so red. Mm-hmm. Her eyes are so red. James looks nasty.
Yeah.
Victoria deserves better.
Cam Gidget, I think that's his.
He's ugly.
His name. No, he has the hair.
And James, he's ugly.
He
has like a little goatee.
He was in Burlesque.
Oh, okay.
With Christina Aguilera. Mm-hmm.
Candyman can. They come in and they're like, we don't have time to quickly run Bella.
Away.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Because they would catch her sin and then chase them or whatever. So I guess like, I get that.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to write this down. I'm so glad I remembered. Because in the book, sometimes all the family will talk to Edward through their mind. Mm-hmm. And so Esme like looks at Edward and says something. And then he shakes his head no. And I was like, did she just ask if Belle's on her period? So I thought that's what she was asking. And then he was saying no, because I was scared they were going to smell the blood. And I was like, why would you ask that? But then then he said she just asked if they were hungry. And I was like, oh, that's not what I thought, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
They should have been concerned about that.
They should have, because like that would, the extra.
They would smell that.
I wonder, this is a health thing, biology thing, anatomy thing, but like it's not the same type of blood, so
maybe they wouldn't.
Maybe they wouldn't.
Let's write Stephanie and ask.
Yeah.
Miss Myers?
Anyways, moving
that's
on.
What I thought they were talking about. So they're like, put your hair down. It'll just,
they're like, it's not going to help her. It's not going to help.
Yeah, I can smell her.
They're like, oh, can we play? And they're like, oh, well, we have some people leaving. So yeah, okay. So they go to walk off, and then of course the breeze blows, and James smells Bella,
stench.
and then they're immediately all in attack mode.
Yeah.
And the book mentions the word. I wish I could count.
Growling,
growl, and snarl, and teeth back behind lips. Like,
yeah, he bared his teeth.
How does that, like, she says that so many times.
Yeah. I try to ignore that, because if I think of someone growling, I'm like, that's disgusting. And I just want to.
It's just weird.
It's so bad. And it's always like a creature. Like when I was reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, that whole series, like he growls. A lot of growling. And I was like, ew, that's so gross. Why are they growling? Also, this is kind of when I don't know if they talked about it here, but I forgot that in the books they explained that because Bella's like scent is so strong to Edward, like every vampire will like have a special like my own brand of heroin.
You're my own brand of heroin. It's because that's why he got so sick when he met her. Not sick, but he wanted to kill her. Because he wanted her blood so bad.
And James like had that same.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And he's a tracker.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna let her go.
Yes, and he's like, he loves a challenge, and so they run off, and they decide, oh well, we got to get out of here, and we got to disappear for a while. And she's like, well, I have to go say something to Charlie. So they
hatch the worst plan known to man.
Yes. She decides to go to Charlie's, and she's like, I hate you and I hate living here. And she says the things that her mom said when she left.
It hurts.
And she had to like run out so that he would let her go.
Oh, so sad.
And then that part it really is sad. And like her pain, like you could actually feel like of her knowing she had to say that.
Yes.
Like to like protect him.
I'm surprised that Charlie survived.
I know. How did he survive every book when so much was happening?
I know.
All around her.
He's literally just like
and like why didn't they like hold him hostage? She was never held hostage either.
They went for the most difficult.
I know, seriously. But anyways, they come up with this plan that they're all gonna go different directions. So Edward and them are gonna track them, and Esme and Rosalie are gonna like send them off in a different direction, and then Alice, Jasper, and Bella are gonna go to Phoenix, where she lived originally, of all places.
With vampires.
Yes. Like, why wouldn't they just go literally anywhere else?
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
So they're holed up in a hotel for a while. In the books, it's like 3 days.
Yes.
Before anything actually happens.
And she sleeps all day, which is funny.
Yeah.
She just wakes up at night.
Yeah.
And
Alice has a vision. And she's sketching.
I love that in the movie, and she's like,
she's like sketching.
Yes.
And it's like, Bella's like, well, that's a ballet studio. And they're like, oh, you recognize it? She's like, yeah, I used to go there. And I was like,
I hate how they're like, interesting. Anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
they're like, oh, that's interesting. Why would you go there? Why would you need to go there now? She's like, I don't know. I shouldn't have to. Put 2 and 2 together, people. Like, it's so stupid.
It pissed me off. And then they get a call that's like, well, we lost him.
Yeah.
So we're coming there.
Yeah.
And Edward's on his way.
Right. And then
which makes no sense.
Yes. And she's been trying to get a hold of her mom. And so she gets a call, and it's her mom. She's like, Bella, where are you, Bella? And she's like, Mom, I'm right here. And then James' voice comes on, and he's like, I have your mother.
Anybody know?
Yeah, I have your mother, and if you tell anybody, I'll kill her. Come meet me at your ballet studio. Like, okay.
Yeah.
How did she not predict that was gonna happen?
How did she get away in the movie?
In the movie, she just leaves. She like runs out the hotel.
Okay.
In the book, she like they go to the airport and she like dodges them.
Why are they at the airport?
They were picking up Edward. I know. Like they don't need a ride.
It's not like they can afford a taxi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gives them the slip and she's like, well, I'm gonna die, but at least my mom will live. Like, dumb. You're so dumb. Like, if you didn't actually think that she's gonna live, and you could have told them. Yeah. They could have. You could have been like, he doesn't have any powers.
He doesn't know that, like, they know. You could be like, hey, I'm gonna go, but y'all, like, be behind me. Like,
yeah. She's like, they wouldn't let me. Whatever. So she goes and she's a sucker.
Yeah, she goes in and it's a video on the TV. And James is like, yeah, we got your school record, so we knew to come here. I got your old address, so I went there. And also, like, I saw that Edward booked a flight to Phoenix, so I was like, for sure, that's really, you're so stupid. Like, this is the best tracker in the world or whatever.
They only, like,
they gave it to him.
Yeah, they literally were so dumb. So he was there. And he's like playing with his food, as he says.
Cat and mouth, I said.
Cat and mouth. And he's recording her. And I've never watched this part in the movie because I got
scared
too freaked out. Yeah.
This is the horror element, y'all.
Yeah, I got too scared. He's throwing her against mirrors.
He steps on her leg.
Oh, that part was so gross. Yeah, it was horrible. And then
he has a fight. Edward comes in. He has a
growling.
Fight, which I think in the book, like, it wasn't a fight. But that's why there's parts where Edward gets in fights where it's like, you can read their thoughts, so you have the upper hand. In the books, he doesn't really ever fully fight with people because he does. But in the movies, I guess they want more action. Yeah. So, like, he gets thrown into stuff and, like, his neck it's like, you know what they're thinking, so.
Oh, yeah, whenever they're.
It doesn't make any sense, but.
Anyway, they defeat James or whatever, but.
Bella had
been
bitten on her arm, and she's slowly starting to turn into a vampire.
She's feeling the burn on her arm.
Starting to turn, and so Edward's like, I can't do it, and Carlisle
wasn't Carlisle like, I'll do it.
He should have been. Like, he would have been able to do it. Because you're going to have to suck the poison out. Yeah. So Edward starts sucking the poison out. And oh my gosh.
He enjoyed it.
He enjoyed it a little too much. But I think Bella enjoyed it a little too much. I'm like, the faces she was making. I'm sorry. But, like.
They're a little graphic.
It's like, girl.
A little pleasurable.
Just wasn't a good. It wasn't a good look.
No.
But anyways.
She blacks out.
And when she wakes up, she's in the hospital.
Dun, dun.
And her mom's there. Rough. And they say, oh, well, you were upset and you came here and then you fell down 2 flights of stairs and went through a window.
I was like,
so believable.
But they had to have paid a doctor off, or like Carlisle had to, because those injuries are not like
a flight of stairs and through a window.
Yeah. They're like vampire bite.
Yeah.
Stepped on your foot. And Edward's pretending to sleep or whatever. Her mom kind of just abandons her and is like, well, she's like, talk to Phil now.
Yeah, she's like, we're gonna take you. We'll take you to Florida with us.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I'm not going to Florida. I'm not. And
he's like, is it because of?
Yeah.
Because of Edward?
And she's like,
yes.
No.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment when Edward's like, this is all my fault. They go, it's all my fault that you're in this way. I shouldn't be with you. And she freaks out because he's like mentions that he might leave her.
Yeah.
Which is a little foreshadowing.
And he acts very little distant. And freaks out. Then they end up going home?
Yeah, they go home, I guess. And then there's prom.
Oh my gosh, the worst thing that could ever happen to Bella is not being bit by a vampire.
Right?
It's going to prom. And she was so delusional in the book. She was like, why is Alice getting me all dressed up and putting this dress
it was literally
She's so
prom.
stupid. She's like, such an idiot.
I don't know what is this dress
but she's
for?
not listening to anybody but herself, because I know Jessica was like, what should I wear to prom?
Right.
And she's like, la 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 la, I don't care. I only care about Edward. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love Edward. And so she's like, why am I all dressed up? And then she's like, ooh, maybe he's gonna make me a vampire.
Oh yes. She's like, this is tonight's when he's gonna make me a vampire.
So embarrassing.
And this I put on this dress so that he would make me a vampire. Like, what?
So embarrassing.
Girl.
Especially when she admits it to him.
Girl, I know.
So embarrassing. But she starts crying because he brought her to prom. Yeah. And I was like, be for real. Be for real.
I loved the leggings in the movie that she was wearing under her dress.
Oh my god. And the Converse.
Yes. Oh my god.
She actually wore heels in the book. Thank God. So they start dancing or whatever, and she's like, I thought you were gonna turn me into a vampire. And she did not want to dance. Whiny. She was crying because she was dancing. And he's like, no, like I'm not.
I would not do that.
And that's when he starts like talking about his like belief in his soul, and where he's like, I think this is eternal damnation to you. And she's not understanding, not willing to be in the middle. I don't care. Yeah, she's like, I don't care. I want to be a vampire. I want to be a monster, as you say. And she, so they start.
In the book, I mean, in the movie, was another thing I ate up was the dancing in the gazebo.
Oh my gosh! That's
every time flightless bird.
Every time I see a gazebo, I'm like, oh my gosh! I think
and then when he puts her on his feet,
and he just picks her up.
It's so sweet. Romantic. And then they like kiss.
And then they have that neck kiss. Oh my god, that was juicy.
He's like, you want me to do it right now? It's so sexual.
And she's like, yes.
She's like, yes, take me
right now in front of this.
And then he's
prom.
like, haha, just kidding. Not
and
yet.
He kisses her so hot. Yeah.
And then it pans out.
Gosh, the best.
It pans out, and
looking over
them is Victoria.
A tearful Victoria.
Yes,
tearfully heartbroken.
James has been killed, and that was her mate. And she takes her red hair down, and then it goes black and white, and then.
Oh, so good.
And then
the credits that are so I think, I mean, what is the book end? The book end just prom, I think.
Yeah, it just ends with prom.
I
think she does say something about Victoria coming after, and they're like, whatever, that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So.
But I don't blame Victoria. Like,
I don't either.
Edward would do the same thing. 100%. Bella would do the same thing.
I mean, Edward did do the same thing.
Right.
Really.
Literally. So I don't blame her. She's a little intense, but I still don't blame her. And then that's the end.
That's the end.
Twilight.
Oh, shoot. We forgot Jacob Black coming to the prom.
Oh, yes.
He was paid by his dad to say, break up with your boyfriend.
And he's like, haha.
He's like, haha, I'm here because my dad paid me, but whatever.
And he said you look beautiful.
Yes.
And Edward did not like that.
There was a weird moment in the movie, like, because in the book, Jacob's like, whatever. Like, he doesn't care, like, about Edward.
No, he doesn't really care.
But in the movie, there's a moment they look at each other and he like glared. They glare at each other, and it's like,
growl.
I guess they're trying to foreshadow that it's gonna be a thing. But
yeah, and then that's the whole spurring of New Moon and why. Yeah,
that's the end of our Twilight journey.
Twilight 1.
And I don't know how many times I saw it once it came out to rent.
I need to rewatch it so bad. Maybe I'll watch it tomorrow night.
I just want to watch the baseball scene again.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It actually genuinely is a good indie movie.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the acting is not the best, but is a well shot.
A fun little thing if you like Twilight. There's these girls on YouTube that I followed for a really long time that do parodies of movies and shows and stuff.
Is it The Hilly Show?
The Hillywood Show?
Yes, I love them.
They are incredible. And the first one's
how do they always look like every character?
It's insane to me. But the first one they do, and they always incorporate music and like dance.
Yes.
And the first one's Hot and Cold by Katy Perry.
Accurate.
And it's really good. They're really funny, and they progressively, like, as their like video skills,
their production is
it's incredible by the end. By Breaking Dawn, so good.
I don't know if I've watched all of those because I loved the Doctor Who one.
Oh yeah,
and they did the time warp, and now every single time I just think of that.
They've done supernatural ones. Yes. Their supernatural ones are so good, and they have the actual people in them too.
Yes, they got popular. Yeah. I follow them on Instagram and everything.
Me too.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just a little
fun
for my girls.
For Hilly and
Hannah and Hilly.
Yeah.
But guys, that is episode one of our Twilight month.
It was perfect that it happened today because it only got up to 91 today.
Woo! Almost. It's almost fall.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt.
Wow. I'm wearing long sleeve.
I had to get blood drawn today, so I've been cold for like the entire day. But I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for listening to the Twilight soundtrack. I'm ready to watch Twilight. This was actually my 4th time reading Twilight, I think, or maybe 3rd.
Wow.
So, 3rd time
impressive.
reading Twilight.
I think this is only my 2nd time.
Wow.
I don't think I've read them since high school, so it's a big deal.
They're just so different.
Yeah.
They're so different. I am going to try to get Midnight Sun in.
I want to, too. It can be our little bonus.
Yeah. Bonus round, Midnight Sun.
But we really hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you also love Twilight and that you can relate to everything we've said.
Click off.
Yeah.
I actually don't.
No, keep listening. Anyways, maybe we'll win you over.
Yeah. At least watch the baseball scene and then you'll want to watch
Yes. Yes, that's all you need.
Easily.
Yes.
But anyway,
Join us next week as we talk about Breaking Dawn.
We're gonna skip. No.
New moon.
Ow. It's a super moon today.
Ooh, perfect for talking about new moon. We love you guys.
Those sexy wolves. Okay, love you.
Bye.